Hello and welcome. This is the introduction to advising for SASE programs. SASE, the Faculty of Science, Applied Science and Engineering. Who are we? Our dean is Dr. Van Zildejong, and within our faculty we have several departments. Biological Sciences, which includes biology, chemistry, and geology. Computer Science, Engineering, Mathematics and Statistics, and Physics. And I am Amy Witkowski, the undergraduate academic advisor. These days you can reach me at sjadvising@unb.ca, but when we're back on campus, you can find me in Olin Hall on the bottom floor in G11A. What do? I generally help students with their academic planning. If they're planning for professional programs or specific careers down the line, or if they want to include minors or specializations within their program, or if they just want to graduate, I can help with that. But I really need you to help me help you. Please read my emails. I don't send very many. At most, it's once a month. And they outline the things that are coming up, things that you should be preparing for. So please at least just scan through them to see if there's anything that applies to you that you should be doing, such as maybe applying to graduate. Okay, you don't want to miss things like that. Your future self will thank you for taking those 2 minutes to read through. Before we begin, I just wanted to cover some terminology. Coming into the University of New Brunswick, you've been accepted into a degree program. Okay, so this could be your Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science and Engineering, Computer Science, and within those degrees, you will study a particular subject, a major. Okay, so I'm just going to open this up to the academic calendar. And under the degree programs, you'll see a list of all the options. So even within your major, for example, if you were studying the mathematics option, you might find that you're also taking quite a few English courses or psychology courses. So maybe you might want to make a minor out of that. So a minor is not required for graduation, but usually if students find that they're taking a few courses, they might try to work towards a minor, and that's often 8 courses. For your degree, there's a number of different requirements that you need to basically check off before you can graduate. There are required courses and there are also electives. For our degree programs, this is the SASE Academic Advising website, a great resource that would be a good idea for you to bookmark. There's a number of things here, including degree checklists. I have built degree checklists for each of our programs. So when you go in, you can check off which program you're interested in pursuing. And if I pull this up here, you'll see in order to graduate, you'll require at least 137 credit hours. That means the list of required courses. So these are specific courses that you need to take and get a C or better in order to have that checked. You'll also need a certain amount of credit hours or courses within a particular subject. And for your major, that's usually that particular major. And then there's a certain amount of free electives that are built into each of our programs. And electives can allow students to explore subjects outside of their program and potentially help build knowledge towards specific career goals, personal goals. So within these elective requirements, you could potentially take enough French courses to have a French minor. When you're choosing your courses, it's a great idea to check the course descriptions to find out if you're eligible to take the course. So for example, if you have all the prerequisites required, or if the course counts towards your program, things like that. So when I open this up, this takes me back to the academic calendar, and you'll see the list of all of the courses that are offered on the St. John campus here. So if I were to look at chemistry, it will tell me the course code, the course title, as well as what the credit hours are for that course. It gives me a brief description of what will be covered in the course, as well as any prerequisites. So these are courses that you have to have before you can take this course. It also lists some co-requisites. And these are courses that you would have to take either before or at the same time as the course. You'll notice that a lot of the lab sections, so for example, Introduction to Chemistry, Laboratory 1, you need to have the lecture component with it. The lab here, in this case, is worth 2 credit hours, and the lecture is worth 3 credit hours. The credit hours are really the weight of the course. You'll also want to check to make sure that there isn't a credit exclusion. So this means 2 courses that cover the same content, so you cannot count both of those courses towards the same degree. So for example, if you're taking Statistics 1793, you cannot take any of these other courses because they will not count towards your degree. And I think I've covered everything except for lecture, tutorial, and lab. So a lecture is when the instructor is generally up in front of the class and delivering a presentation or communicating material in some form. A tutorial is where you would get help to sort of go through that material a little bit further. And lab content or labs are really where you would get that hands-on experimental experience with the content. So hopefully that helps just lay a bit of a foundation for what we'll be talking about. And moving on now, as I said before, you have been accepted into a degree program. So whether that's the Bachelor of Science, the Computer Science, or Engineering, usually within the first year, students will declare a major. That is something that you actually have to do. So if you're in the sciences and you want to declare the biology psychology major, you would have to email the office of the registrar and let them know that. That will be you declaring your major. So these are the options within those degree programs. It is a good idea to declare them sooner rather than later. It's not absolutely required that you do it within the first year, but the sooner you do it, potentially more opportunities might be open to you. And I also want to note that once you declare it, you're not completely locked in for the rest of your time here. You are eligible to apply to transfer to a different major if you do change your mind and you find it's not working for you. There are also additional minors and specializations you can include as part of your program. So as I was talking before about the minors, with careful planning, it doesn't mean that they would take more time than the regular 4 years to build your program because of those elective options. So if you find that after French immersion you want to continue with your French, if you build up 8 courses, then you can declare your minor in French. There's also some specializations you can take on or certificates that you can explore. So if you'd like to come and talk to me about some of the options, other subjects that you're interested in, I may be able to show you some additional options. Okay, so there are lots of options. How do you know which ones to take, right? Some of you may have come to UNB with a plan. You're already working towards a specific career goal, or you have a profession in mind that works with the kind of lifestyle that you would like. Some of you might be influenced by parents or additional people who have strong opinions about what you should do. But most others come to UNB with maybe a sort of general idea at most. And that's okay, because many people end up changing their plans anyway. Sometimes students will take a course in a random subject that just fit their schedule at the time, and it blows their minds. They love it so much. I surprisingly have a lot of students who find that they do really enjoy math. It's not the scary beast that they thought it was, and they tend to transfer into the math majors. So it's okay if you don't know. Really, there's within each of the programs, there is flexibility. So even if you start with one and change your mind, you know, the courses aren't quite what you expected, or you do end up taking this other course that is fantastic, it's okay to not know at this time. But saying that, we do need to get you registered for something. So, registration. Before we start, I ask that you please take a look at the tutorial videos that I believe Dave Decker has sent information to you. You do need to be familiar with the UNB timetable, how to find a course code, the ID number, schedule times, the seat capacity, and the course description. You have to be familiar with your UNB portal, where to go to register for your courses, and where to put the information in. It's also a great idea to familiarize yourself with e-services. If you can find your unofficial transcript, that's a great way to confirm that you've registered for your courses. You can also find your class schedule there, and your list of waitlisted courses. And you can find these tutorials on the SOAR 2020 YouTube channel. You can probably also just search for that. When you are ready, after looking at all those tutorials, you will need a registration package. You can take a look at the link here. So again, this is the SASE Advising website, and under new or first year students, there's all the steps that hopefully you have already done. And then in your preparation for SOAR, here you will find the list of all the registration packages for the specific program. Okay, so if you're interested in the biology, but you're also interested in chemistry, you should check out both of those registration packages. When you open them up, you will find some information about the program itself, what is in the program, as well as some information about the terminology used in the package. You will also find the list of recommended courses for your first year for that program. So you'll find the course code, the section number, ID number, and the associated tutorial or labs if there's more than one section. Okay, so you only need to register for one. You don't have to fit all of these into your schedule. You would just choose one for the chemistry 1046 in this example. Okay. All of this information was taken from the UNB timetable. And so if you want the most up-to-date, if you see that there's a difference between what's in this registration package and what's in the timetable, go with the UNB timetable because that is the most up-to-date information. Okay. I've also included the standard schedules as well as the options for the labs. Again, you don't need to register for all of these labs. You would only choose one lab section. Okay, there's also some helpful hints, some frequently asked questions that I get a lot during this time of registration, as well as the instructions on how to register. And I think Oh, and at the bottom, I've included some troubleshooting options. So where to go if you're having trouble with your registration or in choosing your courses and things like that. Other things that you'll need to register is a device with internet access and a web browser that can open to the UNB timetable. So this will give you a look of what that looks like. So you would just choose your term. So for the fall, your undergraduate level, and then you can go ahead and choose your subject and your location and search, and that'll bring up all the courses for that subject in that term. Your UNB portal, that's where you will log in and actually register for your courses. And hopefully you have already activated your IT services. If you have not yet, please make sure to do so as soon as you can. If you need help after going through all these resources, if you need help with the registration process, there are a number of registration help sessions throughout this week. So please participate in those and get the help you need. For activating your student account, please check with the IT help desk. They'll get you set up depending on what the situation is. If you have questions about the programs, you can review the program information on the website. You can look at the degree checklists on my SOAR advising page or the SASE academic advising page. And as well, I would love for you to participate in any of the advising sessions this week. So the program specific sessions are all scheduled for Thursday. You can attend as many sessions as you like. So if you're interested in the biology major, but you're also interested in a psychology major, please feel free to attend those sessions and just make sure to have those registration packages ready with you. As well, I just wanted to make a note as we go through this summer, as we prepare for our courses in the fall and winter terms, please check your UNB email regularly. If there are any updates related to safety or any course changes, they will be emailed to your UNB account. So please check those accounts just to make sure you are up to date and know what's coming up. Finally, last but definitely not least, once you've completed all the instructions and you feel like you've registered for your courses, please make sure to review them. If you would like me to review them, make sure that you're on the right track. Just email me at sjadvising@unb.ca. Please include your name, student number, and any interests that you're hoping to work towards. Make sure to download your advising checklist, update it with the courses you're registered for, and keep updating that checklist as you work through towards your graduation. And you can also make a plan with the courses you need to take in each term. You'll find examples on that degree checklists website just down at the bottom. There's examples of academic plans down there. You can copy one of those if there's an option that works for your plan, or we can modify as necessary. It's a great idea to review it at least once a year with me to make sure you are on track and we're not missing anything, so that when it's time to graduate, you know that you have everything that you need. That's it for now. I know that was a lot of information, so if you do have questions, please attend any of the advising sessions this week. And I hope to see you soon.